Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on the YouTube. Dave here, the garage, Area 51. Got bomb truck parked outside since it's not raining. Springtime thing, you just never know. It'll probably start raining later on. Gotta get this area here kind of tightened up today. So more bodywork, more sanding, got some more bog. So you're set, good to go. Let's get at it. Okay, so I've been using this Dolphin medium depth ultra advanced fine formulation for the bulk of what we've been doing on the Area 51, but they didn't have any when I went in. It's on back order, so typical. So I got the kind of next grade up. It was slightly more expensive. Still says medium depth repairs, but you know, ultra lightweight, easy sanding, so it might actually be a little bit nicer for doing kind of more the shallower finishing type stuff, which is kind of what we're kind of really trying to do on here on this door. Last week I got some cheap sort of Sunday bog, I'll call it, from the local kind of car parts shop, and yeah, terrible. It seems to be fairly toughish, but yeah, it just was not nice to use at all. So I've just been and knocked that down a bit more, and I'll mix up some of this new stuff, give that a whirl and see how that lays out. So I've got to get that bit there kind of tidied up as well. The washing machine. And just while this is at this kind of not fully cured stage, I'm just kind of shaving off some of the chunky stuff I left behind with a kind of relatively sharpish blunt spreader. Just maybe save me a little bit of, you know, sanding time, hopefully. I don't know if anyone else does this, but sometimes when I kind of made a goopy mess, oops, a bit much, this is a good opportunity to kind of clean it up a little bit before I have to sand it all off anyway. If I notice it, that is. Sometimes I just don't even notice it, and I've got big chunks of stuff dags hanging down underneath that I then have to washing machine clean off. Yeah, we'll let that go off and give it a sand. As far as this particular bondo goes, it's very creamy and definitely sort of mixes up and spreads quite nice. I kind of forgot about this bit and then started doing this bit and then went into this bit and then kind of panicked, and I've kind of needed to get back over to that bit, so it's not the nicest spread, but it should sand up alright. Okay, so as you've seen, I thought I would hook ahead and lay some into there. Now, I used a steel spreader, which I used to use all the time, but I had most of this build I've been using these plastic jobbies here, and I thought I'll try this, you know, one. But I did find if I didn't get a two-handed sort of hand on it, it tended to kind of like scoop out the middle part of the spread, if you know what I mean. So I think I prefer the thicker plastic spreader, just, you know, for bigger like areas sort of thing. I just seen someone on Instagram using quite a thin looking kind of metal spreader like that, but a little bit bigger than that one actually. But it was, yeah, they were kind of two-handing it, and they were doing kind of a nice job, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll try that. Didn't do such a nice job. I kind of fought with it a little bit, but it's kind of my first kind of pass at it. I should have brought my plastic one over to kind of save me, but you know, you've got to try these things and just see how it pans out. But for now, I'll be able to start chuck a bit of guide coat on there and start sort of sanding that area up, I reckon. So you can see how that's, oh yeah, she's probably about ready to go. Actually doesn't feel kind of quite so gooey as normal. So let's get some sanding stuff sorted and some guide coat and get into it. Yeah, where am I going? There it does. Right, shot. Alright, I suppose we'll just get into it and start roughing it down with some 80 grit. Do I want to go into that big one there or that one there? I might start with that. I'm just trying to get this sealing because I know there's a low spot here. I just want to see whether I've kind of got it with this skim or not. I don't think I probably have. I actually suspect it's still kind of a little low right there. And then I'll probably come in with that block and try and start knocking this part down, and then hand stuff into all of that mess. But yeah, exciting, eh? Pretty riveting stuff really, just getting in here and doing some sanding on the old Area 51 project. To be honest, I'm getting a bit over it. I kind of need to, I've still got so much to do, even though that front sheet metal, it's all going to be sanded. Well, probably most of that will be hand sanded as well, but I'm kind of getting a bit sick of this bodywork stuff. So once I've kind of got this dialed in, this area here, I'm going to be pulling out some of the kind of inner fender stuff and structure stuff and kind of having a look at that. Is one bit that I'm going to have to, I'm just delaying the sanding, to be honest, but there's one bit I'm going to have to redo, I know for certain. There's a couple of other bits I'm going to have a look at for tyre clearance or A-arm clearance, now that I can get this down on the ground with some weight and that in it and all that kind of stuff. So I have to kind of bolt it all up, have a look, figure out what I've got to modify, unbolt it all, strip it all, welding, grinding, painting, all that kind of stuff. But let's do it. Where's my dust mask? I think I left it on the bench, but yeah, let's do it. Just gotta do some marking. That's my mega pencil. Okay, so that's first skim sanded up. I've left this edge quite sharp for now because I'll probably slop some bog in that over the edge and end up sanding too much out of it again. But I'm going to mix up another little small batch and hit that, just second skim. Pretty happy with how the inner jam part is at the moment. Like, there's a couple of high spots from you know, the welding and stuff that went on, but I don't know if I'm actually that fussed about those. Like, I reckon by the time it gets, you know, primered and all that kind of stuff, they're kind of going to get soaked up a bit, hopefully. But yeah, so I'll mix up another skim that, and while that's going off, I'll start doing something with this door. Yeah, okay. Okay, so knocked down most of that door. I haven't gone like fully as far as I can go in the 80 grit because I'm gonna do a bit of a spot, you know, touch up, you know, and I've got to put a couple of bits in up the top there and a bit further out down the bottom and stuff like that. So it'll be a pretty light skim. And hopefully that kind of takes care of business, if you know what I mean. I don't think there's anything else up the top here that needs addressing. I think she's pretty good up there. This back half of the door is, I think, pretty good, but find out when we get some shiny shit on there, I guess. But yeah, I've got a bit to do down on that sill as well. There's a few low spots in there, especially up the front there. You can see right up by that corner of the door. Got to chuck a wee bit of poo in there, and yeah, so I'll mix that up, skim that, and then start sanding in on that. Exciting stuff, eh? Exciting stuff. Anyway, it's a pretty punishing job. Like, full credit to the guys who do this 8, 10, 12 hours a day, trying to get these, you know, cars straight and smooth, and, you know, doing production stuff, you know, crash repair where they got to, you know, do it within a dollar range or an hour range type of thing. Those guys they work hard. This is not easy, but I guess if they're really good at it, they can do it in half the time, quarter of the time what it takes me to do it. But we're getting there slowly. Okay, carry on. smarty pants and missed it. Okay, so where are we up to? Got that area there down to 150. Still going to go over it with some 220. Yes, 220. Switched to 220 because I actually read the TDS sheets on the bog and it says 220 or 240. About 2 something anyway, not the 360 that I've been finishing up with, or 320. I can't remember. But anyway, we've got this door here, just doing the old rag on the hand trick. Pretty happy with where it's sitting. This is all just an 80 at the moment, so still got to go over, take out all these scratches and that with a bit of 150, and then the 2 whatever it is, and a little bit down there on the sill. There's a bit of something there still actually. That probably explains all that. There's my knees. Brand new sills, Ripley as. Where is it? It's, I think that's low there. I mean, looking at the way it's sanding obviously, but it's weird because it's like weird low pockets I've sort of been finding with this is low, and they're all kind of quite evenly spaced, so I don't know if it's something to do with the way it was put on or something to do with the way it was manufactured. So I guess come this far I'll put a wee skim on this sill. I should have done the whole thing in one go now, but I thought it was straight, but in saying that I didn't actually check it. I assumed, you know what they say about that, don't assume things. Don't assume it's straight just because it's new. But yeah, it could have been, I don't know, with the heat and of it being welded in. It's all plug welded all through there. I did some of the plug welds and some were done by the previous caretaker of this vehicle. Yeah, so damn it. Oh well, one more little skim across this sill and then while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll get into the door with the old 150. I'll find all my holes, open them back up. There's one there, one there, one there. I can't remember. Oh, there's one there too. See that? I could probably just push it out with a driver of screws or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go and mix up a little bit. I keep mixing up way too much for these light skins, and then I try to be like a Scrooge McDuck and find somewhere to put it, and then I put heaps on, and then it takes me ages to sand it off. And it's like just a little amount. I'm not going to need much. I'm going to estimate like 3 or 4 tablespoons, maybe 3. I'm leaning towards 4, but I always go too much, so maybe I'll go 3. And I mixed up way too much. Yep. Of course. Now where could I put it? Nah. Okay, just leave it. Just leave it. Leave it alone. Stop it. See? Wasted product. Well guys, sanded, down to the 240 over the whole lot. I think I've gone a bit low on the front corner of that door. That's where that kind of lead work was. Oh, I'm gonna sit down. Right in about there. See those two sort of high spots? I tried kind of like tapping them down, but they didn't really want to move. Could be a bit of stretching or something going on in there, and I think I took a little bit too much out of the sill, or the rocker as it might be known over in the Americas and Canada and stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Next up, I'm going to squirt some epoxy on it, see what it looks like with a bit of shine on it. Oh, got to clear those holes, the trim holes. Yeah, got to clear those trim holes. I forgot about that. And so, yeah, I'll get some epoxy on those, and I'll probably not today though. I'll do that tomorrow. I might have a bit of a clean up and do some vacuuming and stuff like that. I'm pretty wiped out today actually for some reason, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, so till tomorrow, I have a clean up, got to do a bit of masking and stuff like that, and then I'll sort of squirt some epoxy around on this thing, and then that'll be the kind of main body, kind of really 92.78% roughed in. Still got to do that stuff. there is a, if you look underneath the by the pedal on that bicycle there's a little bit of bog showing there. So once I kind of dig into that, I may find some rustage and things like that, like I did on that other door. Mind you, there's surface rust all around that little bit of bog, so it might just be I don't know, just a random little bit. Hopefully it's not holes and I don't have to do any welding and stuff, but no biggie if it is. We'll just cross that bridge when we come to it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and then, but before I go on to those, like I said before, I've got to do all the kind of inner fenders, which are all sitting up there on the pile of boxes, and there's a whole bunch of other little bits of sheet metal that all have to be kind of cleaned up again and painted, that all kind of go on the inner stuff, inner structure stuff that hold the guards on and all that kind of crap. And yeah, but before I put all that on, there's a little bit I want to do on the top of the firewall as well. So yeah, just kind of like little finishing bits, but like, yeah, kind of above the firewall on the top plateau part. I'll show you when we get to that. But before I do any of that front sheet metal stuff, I want to finish the exhaust. I want to figure out where I've got to weld my O2 bungs in, or bung, and weld that in, mount up the exhaust manifolds, and I do have a valve spring kit, which I should really probably address the, doing those valve springs before I put all the sheet metal and stuff on. I've never done that before, but so I'll have to figure out how to do it. I've bought a valve, LS valve compressor spring tool ages ago. I just haven't got around to doing it. And one of those little fittings that goes into the cylinder, and put air in there, and it holds the valves and that up while you're doing the springs and stuff. So we might do that before we kind of carry on with all the front sheet metal stuff. Just give us a break from bodywork and get that exhaust stuff and the valve springs done. Yeah, that was a weird way of saying done. But anyway, till tomorrow, I got to clean up, and then yeah, that'll be it for today. Till tomorrow, see ya. Hey guys, so next day, what were we on about last night? Masking and get some epoxy on this thing, on this door inside. Obviously all the bits that I've been working on in this video and the previous video, I think, was the top parts. So yeah, get all this sort of sealed away again, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess let's get at it. Mask up some areas that I don't want to kind of get stuff sprayed around all over the joint, you know what I'm saying. Which would be, I might put a wee skirt in, dropping down from behind the rocker on the sill area, cover up some of this here. I'm not too fussed about this because this is going to get repainted, but I might actually mask it here just to kind of save me some sort of more sanding of dry spray and stuff later on. And that's about it really, I think. Then gets this squirted. But I remember to touch up that, and I've got to touch up the edge of the boot lid there. I did some filing on there the other day. Still not too stoked with that gap right on here, but the gap's uneven all the way around anyway, so it's kind of matches. But yeah, it's one of those things. You could just keep chasing your tail, going round and round and round and round, and I've got to remember what my goal is for this is not Riddler Award SEMA build type shit. It's just driver stuff, but yeah, still like get it as good as I can get it without going absolutely mental on it, if that makes any sense, But anyway, masking tape, start with that. on the internet doing a bit of stirring. Get it? Okay, see what I did with that? So just got to mix up, seriously, just got to mix up this 2K epoxy primer. It's a little bit settled at the bottom of the pot, the tin. It's coming right. I can feel all the heaviest solids coming off the bottom, but you can see it there on the bottom of the stirrer. So just got to give it a real good mix so we get an even, you know, mix, if that makes sense. And this is a 4 to 1, 4 to 1 to 1. So it's like 4 parts product, 1 part hardener, 1 part reducer if necessary. And I've found with this particular thing, I like actually end up knocking it back with the reducer just a tad more, especially when I'm just kind of sealing like this, because it is quite thick stuff even when it's reduced to spec, and kind of sprays on a bit like a spray putty. So that's right, it fills a bit of my sins when that happens, but yeah, so I just found it, I can get it to spray a bit nicer if I knock it back just a little bit more than recommended. I don't know what that does to the, what do you call it, like the composition of the product, but I have heard of people thinning it back and using it as a sealer, so can't do too much sort of stuff to it. But my arm was getting tired, so I've kind of had enough of stirring that pot on the internet. Get it? Did it again. Right, so I'll just finish mixing this up and then we'll go and like blow it around the place. Yep. Okay, so just give it a dust off with the normal kind of rag and the air gun, and then just a final wipe down with the old tack rag, which is like a rag but it's tacky. Pretty self-explanatory. So now I just got to chuck a mask on, figure out my process for how I want to do this. Ideally I'd kind of want to do the inner jam stuff first, but when I shut the door I don't want it to kind of end up hitting there. I want to kind of stop it before it hits, if you know what I mean, like that. So I need to put some kind of door stopper in there, maybe a broom and a bit of wood or something like that. Kind of like that, but maybe a little bit further. So I've got my patented door stopper apparatus over there, so that will just hold that in place. Yeah, is that little pinholes in there? There's a little bit of mark in there, yeah. More stuff to find later on. Yeah, so that'll work. So I'll start with my door open. I masked up my VIN tag, and yeah, let's get the first coat down. Okay guys, so first coat down. I'm so entrenched in like lacquer based stuff, which is kind of air dry, that I forget that this 2K malarkey, you kind of like got to work it different. So I kind of started off like a dust coat, you know, and then it was spraying so nice, I just started pouring it on and got a little bit heavy right there. It started to run around that hole, so I don't know, I'll probably put it in the edit. I was kind of like just blowing air at it, trying to blow those runs back uphill, but doesn't really work. But it'll be alright. It's all got to be sanded again anyway. So, but yeah, so the door's looking not too bad. There's a little ding there. That probably should be able to get that with didn't notice that before, but be able to get that with right there. But again, not a big deal. Oh god, there's another one there, another one there, and yeah, when we get into that other next stage, the high build blocking stage and things like that, we'll be able to knock those. Oh, there's my runs. I think that's the, oh no, I did get runs in something else in the primer on the dash, I think. In the corner, I laid it on a bit heavy, same sort of deal, expecting it to kind of go down drier, flatter, but it doesn't. So there you have it. I could probably do with sanding out that a bit more, but I think I might put some seam sealer in these joints there, just something to kind of close those things up. Not a filler, but like something kind of waterproofy type stuff that's paintable. I don't know, we'll figure that out when we get that far. But yeah, so I'm just going to let that flash off, do its thing, give it its 40 minutes or whatever, and then I'll give it another quick lighter coat this time so it doesn't get too heavy, especially the door. But yeah, on the whole, I think it's looking okay. Loaded up my spray gun. I didn't blow any thinners through it before I started, and some dipshit like who used the spray gun last time didn't clean it out properly, like, and there was some dried up paint in the spray nozzle, so I had to then kind of clear all that and get it to spray, and it sprayed quite well, to be fair, considering it's got dry shit in the nozzle. Yeah, in the second cap, the needle cap part, not the outer cap, the inner cap. And yeah, I don't know, I must have been in a hurry last time I used it, because I must have just done a quick blow through and didn't actually kind of take anything apart. After this run, I'll give that spray gun a bit more of a clean out, but it is actually spraying quite nice considering it was a second-hand giveaway one. You know, mate gave it to me because he was having trouble with it. But yeah, getting there. I'll go and have me a cup of coffee while I'm waiting for this, so I don't kind of rush in too soon. I'll go and boil a jug and, you know, have coffee and sit down and just chill out, and don't rush back into trying to give this a second coat. But yeah, what do you reckon? I want to see that door shut properly now. I want to see what the light hits that gap down the bottom like and stuff like that. But yeah, again, be patient, man. Okay, that didn't work. Something we used to do back in the day with like enamel paint. Used to be able to kind of stipple it out if you got it to it quick enough, but I kind of didn't think about it. It's been about 15 minutes and I didn't do that. So now I've got little pop holes in there, and that'll be alright. It'll sand out with any luck. Yeah, okay. Now got a, pardon me, another I don't know, 15 minutes or so, finish my coffee, and then give it a second coat. Just be patient, yeah, keep itching to go in there. Oh, the other thing is I put a new fitting on my bloody hose, and it keeps popping off for no reason. You can connect it, pull on it, and it's like holds, and then all of a sudden it'll just go and let go of me. So what's with that? And I threw the old one away. I threw the old one away because it leaked, and that one there just doesn't leak, but it just wants to fall off all the time. So I have to see if I got another one stashed around somewhere and see if I can try again, because I don't want that popping off if I'm like painting the roof and the fitting pops off and just drops onto the final coat of clear or something like that, you know, that would just suck. Right, so time's up, time for a second coat. Just go and grab my respirator and my spray gun and let's get into it. Okay, so second coat time. I probably should have put this on over there, but yeah, so I'll try to limit the amount of crack attack I expose, maybe edit those things out and yeah, get into it. Short t-shirts, not good for the YouTube. Yeah, that's how to do this.
Let's go.
Okay, so something I've noticed over the last, I don't know, like month or so, like doing lots of cleaning out of this spray gun and stuff like that, is I get like a general purpose thinners from my local paint shop, right? Which is just, you know, pretty much thin most stuff with it, other than this epoxy primer that has its own thinners. But for like using it as a gun cleaning kind of stuff, that's kind of what I bought it for, and for thinning the other high build primer. And I was going to thin my top coat stuff with it as well. But I noticed that when I'd be like cleaning this gun out, it would kind of like particulate the paint, if you know what I mean. It would kind of like, it's almost like it's having a little reaction with it, not diluting it as such, you know. And I've been using that to clean this gun out, and I sort of thought it wasn't doing the greatest job. So I was in the old hardware store the other week, and I came across a general purpose thinners, and it was actually considerably cheaper than the paint shop stuff. Got it home, cracked the lid on it, and it smells like old school lacquer thinners, and I'm pretty sure it is, because the paint shop stuff doesn't eat my gloves like this, but the hardware store stuff does. So I should probably get rid of that glove. But as far as for cleaning out this gun and cleaning like dried paint and that off it, it eats into it and it takes it off, whereas the general purpose stuff I got from the automotive paint store doesn't, you know. So whether, you know, it's all that kind of coming into line with emissions and all that kind of stuff that the old paint store, you know, the automotive paint store, you know, they don't really kind of carry the lacquer stuff. But as to why just the chain store hardware has 4 litre containers of it for, I can't remember how much it was $20 or $30 or $40 or something like that, I can't remember. But yeah, so I thought I'll, you know, grab it, try it, and use it as a gun wash sort of thing, because I thought it would be cheaper. But it actually, I think, is a better thinner for the lacquer based products than what I'm getting from the automotive paint store, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's where we're at. that's where I had all the paint dried up, was inside there. Managed to get most of it out, I think. Most of it. Primer gun, but should be all good. Yeah, so carry on cleaning this up. Alright, there we have it. Check it out. Unmasked. I even took all those drop sheets out from the inside and gave it all a bit of a vacuum and a blowout with the old compressor. Didn't unmask the dash because I've just got to mask it up again. I may have to unmask the steering column because I'm going to drop it down onto the ground at some point, get it out of the garage into the daylight. Not today because it's starting to rain, because it's springtime here in New Zealand, and it does that, kind of goes from sunshine to rain in a heartbeat. Gave all this a bit of a dust, and just got a soft paintbrush and brushed all the dust off and spread the grease around and then rubbed the dust into the grease. That was good. And yeah, it was starting to build up under here, you know. Still, I didn't do all that, but you know, just kind of knock it down a little bit. Every time I walk around it, I find more stuff. I knew about these and these, but I noticed just a couple of little things in here, but that's all right, because I knew that there's a ton of little things that need to be done to the body to get it to the next stage. I managed to get black overspray on it somehow, but I don't know how I did that. I don't know, I was thinking, you know, before I kind of rub it down for the high build primer, whether to kind of shadow coat it or guide coat it at that stage as well, and rub the whole thing, block the whole thing back ready for the next stage of primer, and then maybe do some of those the heavier sort of spot fills at that point. I don't know, what do you reckon, you fellas on the internet who know more about this stuff than me? Would you do that, or would you just rub it back and fix what you find, and then do your high build primer and then fix more of what you find? Or would you try and get it, like if you look at down that door, see the little ding right at the top of the door? Things like that, you know, I could get to before I go to the next primer stage. Yeah, probably should, eh? Yeah, just little stuff, hopefully not sand through this epoxy, and you know, stuff like that. There's scratch marks in there. A lot of that will sand out as well when I kind of rub down this epoxy to get it ready to, you know, go to the other primer. Yeah. But yeah, liking how it's coming along. It's starting to look pretty cool. Starting to look like, you know, something. But again, what we end up doing with it, I'm not too sure at this point. So wait and see. Okay guys, that's where we're going to leave this video on the old Area 51 project. Another little milestone reached, which is quite good. And yeah, so next up, I think we're going to get into some of this sheet metal stuff on the front, like these two inner fender pieces. I'm going to pull them out, dust them off. There's a couple of bits that might have a bit of interference with one of the top A-arms, I think, but I've got to get them out, bolt them all up and stuff. Plus we've got to get into all of these loose components and stuff, that like these things here, and that's the front core support kind of area and the radiator support. That's all going to be finished welding and painting and stuff, and yeah, get all those painted. Question, trying to decide whether to paint the inside of those, just paint them black, or whether to do them the body color. I'm kind of up in the air about that, whether to, you know, have the firewall the body color and then the inner fenders just black, you know, because the radiator support thing will be black and radiator will probably be black. It's aluminium at the moment, but I wouldn't mind painting it black. And yeah, I don't know, let me know you guys' thoughts, you fellas, let me know your thoughts on that. And yeah, I haven't decided, I just haven't decided. Yeah, Was going to do it, like I say, was going to do it with body colour, and then I don't know why, but lately I've been thinking about doing it black, so go figure. Yeah, oh, and I've got to do, probably may even do those first, the exhaust manifolds, O2 bung, and then the valve springs, scary, internal engine stuff. Haven't done a lot of it, to be honest, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm a bit worried that if I do something like that and then it's months and months down the track that I actually fire it and the thing won't go, I'll be all these things that I have done and I won't know which one of them stopped it going, you know. So yeah, anyway, it's starting to rain. I want to get the bomb truck back in the garage and away. Yeah, so that's where we'll leave this one till next one, probably next week, hopefully. If you haven't subscribed already, it'd be real cool if you'd subscribe and follow on the channel. And oh, would you shut your dog up? Crikey. Subscribe. Surrounded by little yappy dogs nowadays. It's doing my head in. My dog never barked. Well, much. Oh, for fuck. Winner. Okay, so bloody dog. Anyway, so if you haven't already subscribed already, hit the button, hit the notifications bell if you want notified and stuff like that. Like, share, comment, and join us on this wild ride. How cheesy is that? But yeah, come along and follow along on the progress on the old Area 51 project, and it'll be starting to take shape. So, you know, I've kind of had a few steps along the way that it's like, you know, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back type of scenario, but for the most part it's still moving ahead, so eventually. But yeah, learning a lot as I go, so remembering a lot. Like, I haven't done a full kind of respray sort of thing. I haven't done, well, I have done body work to this extent, but like restoration type body work, not custom stuff where I'm trying to make up my own shapes and shit. I'm just trying to like reproduce what was originally there. And yeah, but you know, anyway, like, it's all in the previous videos. Just go and watch those if you're new to the channel, and you'll kind of like, I'll explain it as it all goes along, how this came about and whatnot. But yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, please. And until next time, take it easy and peace. Yeah, like I was saying before, probably going to do those manifolds and the valve springs and stuff, and then maybe the sheet metal and all over the place. Don't know, so much still to do, like prep and paint and things, but enough jibber jabber and rabbiting on. See you next time, okay? Thanks for watching. Subscribe, please. Thanks. See ya.